beaten over the line by Andre Greipel, and Niels Pollitt from Border Hansgrohe picks up third. Meantime, that looks like George Bennett on the grounds, the New Zealand champion and a big player for Jumbo Visma. He's hit the deck.
Yep, good to see George Bennett, and he's hit his head. Well, this is going to be interesting to see if they do the concussion checks that they've spoken often about, because he's clearly taken a big hit to the head. The fact he's just kind of trying to keep balance, to taking his helmet off immediately, this is going to be a big check of how the UCI handle this, because they talk. There's been so much talk about this, and I think he does need to have a consciousness check. With a concussion check, pardon.
Well, let's just see how that plays out. This is a replay of the aftermath. I don't think we see what caused it. Those are clear pinch point. The road furniture, brutal either side. Those pedestrian bollards.
So the helmet squints, and look at the way he just gets up now with his shirt. Immediately he's taken that off, and it's, yeah. Is it broken? He's looking at it, he's checking. Yeah, look at that. He's smashed the back off it. Now this does need, look at it. He shouldn't be starting.
Yeah.
So let's see if the doctor of the race gives him a concussion check, because if we see him getting back on the bike, that is unacceptable.
He's hit the back of his head, hasn't he, David?
That's one of the worst places to hit as well. So, and you can see how valuable that helmet is, especially the protection down the back, because he's just smashed it. Oh, and they're just, any checks? Let's see. Not even a finger check, or just asking what day.
Now here's the doctor now.
Now let's see.
The race doctor has turned up.
No, the race doctor doesn't know yet. No, there's thumbs up. No one's checked him. Wow.
On the face of it, and who knows, we're only getting a partial view from the these images, but on the face of it, that looks indefensible, doesn't it?
Well, we're seeing a lot more than they are, but that goes to show there is no systematic check. You would think to pick up the helmet, see if the helmet, how is the helmet? You'd have 3 questions to ask maybe. And the first thing to do would turn up and say, where's your helmet? Can I see your helmet? Because you'd see if the head had been hit. Nobody checked that. So we talk about aero tucks and all these different things. That's something that needs to be tackled.
Well, it's a thorny issue, isn't it? And it's complex, because often the correlation is drawn between sports like rugby, where they seem to have this down to a T, the concussion protocol. But rugby doesn't stand still, or rather it does stand still. A bike race doesn't. It goes up the road, and that's a position that George Bennett finds himself in now.
He shouldn't be back on the bike right now.
No, we've seen instances. We've seen Tom
Romain
Skunch
Bardet
in
the Tour de France last year.
Bardet, we've seen Tom Skunch dramatically at the Tour of California a few years ago, where he really should never have remounted, and it was clear from those images that Bennett was not in the right situation at all to get back on the bike.
Yeah, it's something that definitely needs to be prioritised. I'll be interested to see what the reaction is from other riders regards that, and the cyclist union, and even the UCI, because it's and maybe the team car, they'll see it, maybe they will come up and do something now. Because let's not forget, as we said, we see much more than anybody else does. My only concern is the fact there aren't any protocols in place to handle this situation.
Well, he's okay for now. He's in the race, but big question marks over whether George Bennett should even be pursuing his goal of getting to the end of the stage. Again, the doctor's car, that is the medical assistants. They check, he gives the thumbs up, and on he goes.
Now, while we're dealing with the Bennetts in the race, a quick look back at George's crash, or rather what happened after it in terms of judging his fitness to continue the stage. Well, the UCI published a new protocol in December to deal with exactly these situations, and it says if there's evidence of concussion, and that evidence includes things like a broken helmet, then race officials may be alerted. It also suggests video of the injury be used if possible in making the initial judgment. Then, depending on the context of the race, whatever that means, the official race doctor should complete a roadside assessment of the rider, and that includes a list of standard questions and balance checks. Well, the initial evidence was certainly there in the form of Bennett's broken helmet, his unsteadiness on his feet and his dazed Stan Laurel stare. But from what we saw, and obviously the cameras weren't on him the whole time, he had a new helmet on in pretty short order and was given the OK to continue by a race medic after what appeared to be a less than exhaustive examination. Anyway, he finished today's stage, and we'll see if he starts tomorrow.